Sup my dudes, Valk here. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to solo the new raid with the Akatsuki team, but first, is there nothing for you to play on Roblox? Well, good news, Anime Crossover Defense is a game I'm really excited for that's coming out on May 10th. This game's got one of the best summoning animations I've ever seen, as well as really cool systems like the artifact feature and double upgrades. Make sure to check the pinned comment for a Discord link and go ahead and join. Alright, and now, thank you guys for watching that little ad as always. Hopefully you guys check them out. I really like that game. I want that game to do really good, so I'm going to keep pushing that game until it releases on the release date inside that little advertisement. But, basically, this is going to be the team. You have Dune Beast Gara, who's really good for this, and then you have Dennis, who's just going to be good for generating a lot of money very early on, allowing us to go ahead and get into our more expensive units. You guys will be asking, Valk, why aren't you using Ramen Guy? Because Ramen Guy takes too much money up front whenever the main issue is the early waves. If you can get past the early waves, then odds are you're perfectly fine, especially with this team. The main issue with this raid is the fact that it spawns in elementals with 30 million HP. So having the ability to kill 30 million elemental enemies is really important. You need a bleed, which Pain will be able to be the bleed unit because there's a lot of healers. So yeah, we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into it. Pain's going to be able to apply to bleed. We have Itachi here for the actual damage itself. Itachi's going to be able to do a very big AoE of black flames as well as flames, or a bunch of basically DOT damage, and be able to DOT down the 30 million HP enemies on wave 13. You are going to want to not auto skip the whole time and kind of clear out the waves as they come to you. But this is a method I found that basically doesn't use any new units. So you're going to want to use this to kind of just be able to take your time with stuff. So we're going to put down a Gara right there, frame 1. And this is pretty much going to be wave 1. Those two in tandem are going to be able to take out wave 1. And the reason you want to use Gara is he's a really good stun. I know most people already have Gara and just haven't used him, but yeah, this team should be enough damage output to go ahead and basically be able to beat this raid. It all comes down to your ability to take out the elementals, because the faster you take out the elementals, the faster you can go ahead and start focusing on the boss, which is going to be very important. So with this, we're probably going to want to upgrade him once, and then he could probably take out the second wave as well. All we're going to do is that, and he should be good for the second wave. And Gara is just there just in case they get close enough so he can stun them. And the main reason we're using Gara is even for his upgrade 1, although his upgrade 1 is very good for being able to kind of stall out and buy us time. The main reason we're using Gara is for his upgrade 2. His upgrade 2 is going to be really good whenever we get into it. So with that done and with Gara done, we're going to put one Gara here specifically and one Gara here. Then we're going to put one Hidan here, one Hidan here, just so we have ways to do things, and then we're going to put our Pain here dead center. Pain is going to be the main way we kill enemies in this, and the main way we do damage. So we want to make sure Pain is dead center and able to actually deliver all the damage he has as we build up money using Dennis's, and this is why we're not auto skipping, so Dennis has more time. And like I said, the main reason we're using Dennis is just to make these early waves as easy as possible. Now you could be saying, Valk, the early waves didn't look that bad. That's because we already, we're already preventing it, right? We're already ready for it. But a lot of times the early waves can smoke you, and they're very important to kind of keep an eye out for. So now we're just waiting to go ahead and max out Pain first, because Pain's going to be a very good way that we are able to basically kill everything. And just to help out with the elementals, because like I said, the main issue with this stage is having enough DOT damage. We're going to go ahead and actually get these Hidans up to max damage on just bleed. If you do one more upgrade past this, then they no longer have bleed. At that point, they have bloodthirsty. So it's really good to just have the bleed, that way you can apply bloodthirsty and do a lot of damage. So our main bleed guy is going to be Pain himself. Pain's going to be able to apply the bleed and be able to take down the DOTs, as well as Itachi whenever we get Itachi up and running as well soon. But first we just need to get Pain maxed out, and then we need to get our Naruto maxed out for the damage buff, and then we'll go from there. So we get Naruto maxed out, then we come here, we put one Naruto down dead center, and then we're going to start working on him, getting him up, getting him maxed out, getting him ready to go. And then once we have Naruto's buff in cycle, we are going to, this is enough, we're going to go ahead and start working on the Garas, because like I said, we really want to get this third upgrade for Gara. It's where he really starts to shine, It's very important that we have that third upgrade. We can see his auto buff still timed out. Alright, so now that that's there, you guys can see what I mean by how good the third upgrade is. It's a really, really good upgrade. Really, really important just for having the ability to stall. It's really cheap to get Gara to this point. I highly recommend if you guys have Gara, using him because he's just really, really good. And here we're going to actually put a Gara way over here just to kind of stall the enemies and stagger them so we don't ever get hit with 2 enemies at once. This will just buy us time, like I said. And maybe Gara picks off somebody over there. I don't know. I doubt it. But he's just going to be able to buy us a bunch of time so we can kind of work on everything else. So next up is the Itachis. We do want Itachi down. We want to put down as many Itachis as we can because he is going to be big full AoE DOT, which is kind of what his whole purpose and reason for being in this team is going to be. Just massive big full AoE DOT. It's going to make him where he's able to do a ton of damage and take out the elementals for us, which is going to be, like I said before, our main point of contention. I believe he goes full AoE, right? Yeah, okay, right here. Alright, so this is going to be our main issue, is just having this full AoE elemental damage. You can see why we're not on skip, why we're doing no skip at all, because we just need to make sure we have this full AoE damage, and make sure we have this bleed, and make sure we have all these things to make this team actually like function and work and dish out the crazy amount of damage it's able to actually dish out. So we're going to keep doing this, keep it pushing, slowly but surely we're getting there. And you guys can see that Dennis is basically enough to be the solo money unit. I think Ramen Guy is definitely the better money unit, but it's much more struggle early on to get Ramen Guy placed and get a good defense going. To where, because Dennis is so cheap to place, that you can use Dennis a lot better to, or a lot more effectively early on and still have a good defense to allow like not such, or make it so your early game is not so difficult. So we're going to keep upgrading Itachi here. And we're going to keep pushing this. And we're going to upgrade this Itachi all the way up as well. And you guys can see the amount of damage they're going to be able to dish out. You got this one doing 10 mil. You got this one doing 16. Yeah, we're just kind of just pushing them to full AoE and keeping them here in the dead center. So they're able to go ahead and basically buy us time and kill those. Because like I said, what we have coming is 30 million HP DOTs. It's a lot. It's very, very strong DOT units. Are very, very high HP DOT enemies that we're definitely going to want to be able to try to kill as fast as possible. So it's going to be very important that we have stuff like that going. So we're almost to a point where we can start putting down our Narutos. We just want to get one of the Hidans back here to full AoE and get his Bloodthirsty 2 going. That way we have that extra source of damage for enemies that try to push through. And now we're going to go ahead and put down the Naruto so they can start ramping up their attack. By using bonus range or anything like that, because even without him being on the category lead, Naruto still is going to be able to offer a lot of damage as time goes on, because his raise attack is so good, and he's also a hybrid. He's a hybrid later on, so I don't know if there's, I don't even know if there's hills on this map, to be honest. I don't even know if there's flying enemies on this map. But if they are, they're going to die to Naruto, so it's all good. Well, they're going to die to everybody, but Naruto will be able to contribute in the damage. Anyways, yeah, you guys can see exactly how much damage this team does. Does a ton of damage. Very, very good team all in all. Really big fan of the Akatsuki team. I think they have some really high DPS units. Now, I know a lot of people will be like, Valk, why aren't you using Sasuke whenever you said Sasuke is better? It's very simple, is Itachi does more damage. And in this, you need as many instances as DOT as possible to do as much damage as possible to be able to kill the 30 million HP enemies. Because they have 30 million HP, so you don't necessarily need Black Flames right away. You just need the damage. That's all you need. You just need as much damage as you can. Having as much damage as humanly possible is going to be very, very, very big as time goes on. Let's go ahead and put auto ability on, auto ability on, auto ability on. It doesn't really matter, but I want to make sure that that's still pushing. So, with all that said and done, I think now we can finally start upgrading this last Hidan here and getting ready for the big DOT, our elemental wave incoming, because I think the Itachis are going to be able to really take care of that. You can see 103 mil, 121 mil. He's at 500 mil because Pain is the core central figure of this whole strategy. Pain is absolutely important to it, or integral to the whole thing. And then we can go ahead and start upgrading this one, because like I said, Pain is going to apply the bleed. Pain is the bleed unit. Pain's going to be able to apply all the bleed, so that's going to be really, really important. And now we have one Gara left that we can place that we're kind of just going to wait and see if anything starts to be able to bleed through. Ideally, nothing does bleed through, and Gara is able to lock them down fast enough. Oh, that's right, I put the one way over here to make sure that we basically don't... Let me put it on one time just so I can make sure. Let me sell this and make sure nothing is bleeding through. It looks like nothing is bleeding through, so we might be able to survive long enough for this. But yeah, you guys can see Black Flames is on the boss, so at this point we're just trying to go ahead and stall for time as much as humanly possible. We're going to do this because he's going to get through, and then once he gets through, we're going to sell some stuff, let some money start to build up, and we're going to put this in one-time speed real quick while we do this. You guys can see the amount of damage coming out from everything. Basically, the stunner's dead there. Now that the stunner's dead, we can take this Pain, and move him all the way back to here. And then we're going to go ahead and max upgrade him. We're going to grab a Gara, sell him. We're going to bring this Gara over here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is basically what we're going to do at this point. We're going to keep moving stuff around to be able to go ahead and apply Pain. And here we go. We actually don't have the damage requirement on him. That's funny. What about you? What about a Chew? None of them have the damage requirement, so we can't even use the base protect. I don't think it matters. I think Pain and Gara here, this little combo, is going to solo as we move them down the line. We're going to take this Gara now. Take this Gara, put him here, and just keep, like, caterpillaring the Garas down. And yeah, this is going to be how you kind of solo it. Yeah, you guys can see. It's over. Yeah, that's how you do it. I think it's a good way to go about it, but let me know if you guys have any better ways to do it. This is how I beat it solo. This is a good way to go about it. If you guys don't have any new units, you can use the Naruto units to beat it. The Akatsuki team is really, really good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.